Jay and his wife down here are on the opposite sides of the Ole Miss Alabama equation this week, so you can watch in separate rooms. It'll divide you for a few hours. But the way that sports unifies us, I think, are much more powerful and much more important than the ways in which they divide us. And that consistently moves me when I travel around and I see a sport like college football, which I think is particularly social. It's a social touchstone. It brings people together. It lets them yell with one common voice for a few hours. It gives them a reason to be proud about their school, their town, their state. And that is so powerful. To see that play out behind us every week in College Game Day is such a privilege. And that can happen in all different kinds of ways. People ask me, what's the most important or meaningful College Game Day you've done? And it isn't the place that had the biggest party or the largest crowd. I think at times where we've been fortunate enough to document the power of sports to galvanize and even heal and make you forget and help you escape for a few hours. And we took our show to Virginia Tech for the season opener in 2008. And it was the first football game after the tragic campus shootings the previous spring. And people on that campus had come together in vigils to grieve and to mourn at the appropriate time and place. But they hadn't come together for a football game yet. They hadn't come together to cheer together as one, as Hokies. And the football game, a few hours in Lincoln Stadium, wasn't going to help heal the agony they'd been through. But it was a chance to come together and express collectively what it meant to be a part of that family. And so College Game Day was there to document that, to do our best to do it justice. And we took that responsibility really deeply, and the game was unimportant. What was important was capturing the emotions and the feelings on that campus. So we did the first part of the show outside. Then we moved the second half of the show inside Lincoln Stadium, where the crowd had moved in and they were beginning to get revved up. You know, it all built toward the Enter Sandman by Metallica. There may be another fellow Metallica fan in here, by the way, or at least Hokie fans that knows the song when they come out of the tunnel, so it was very inspiring. It's one of the coolest entrances. And to have 2 hours of television build to that, where they could just release and be fans and be Hokies, was amazing. And we were so proud that the reaction we got afterward from people there was what we'd hoped for, that we had done that story justice. And we're just a goofy little pregame show on Saturday morning, but you got a sense that setting the table for a football game that morning could be something powerful. The next year we were at the Air Force Academy to pay tribute to veterans, and Air Force was playing Army. We try to do something like that every year. This year was different. This was in 2009, and it was the same week that there had been the shootings at Fort Hood. And you had soldiers there standing shoulder to shoulder with cadets in the Air Force Academy. And the brotherhood that is always expressed at those Service Academy games, if you're lucky enough to witness one, it's a very special feeling because you see that they are, to put it in a pithy way, they're all on the same team. They'll be fighting a common mission. They want like hell to meet each other in that day. But there's a brotherhood that is unspoken, that goes way beyond football. It was even more powerful that day. And I still get chills thinking about our show at the Air Force Academy, which was closed off to civilians that day because they couldn't be sure about security. In the wake of that tragedy, they closed the base off. So we had an audience of only Air Force cadets and some Army personnel who were up there and some families. And so it was a very poignant moment. And we talked about what it meant for them to be together, what it meant for us to be able to pay tribute to them and express our sorrow for what they'd gone through, what they were feeling, and our appreciation for the mission they were about to go perform together in the coming years. We had a flyover of jets on the Air Force Academy and kind of silently approaching overhead and zooming overhead for about 30 seconds. We didn't say anything because there was nothing to say. You couldn't add to the scene. And I still get chills thinking about that. Now, thankfully, it's not that every week. We typically have crazy LSU fans tailgating behind us and cooking up gumbo and etouffee and whatever they cook in Athens, Georgia, and what they cook in Big Ten country. And that for us is our main mission every week, is just celebrating college football. But I've seen firsthand the power that it has to bring people together. We were just at Fargo, North Dakota, and they are the Alabama of the FCS, the Division I AA. They're two-time defending national champs, and they're the unanimous #1 team. And And they don't care that they're all on the edge of our radar screen most of the time. That nobody can name the mascot for Fargo. You don't think you can get there. You only know about the movie and the wood chipper and the funny accent. We had the wood chipper there too because we like a good visual joke as well. But what you get is a whole bunch of people, every bit as passionate and engaged and invested in their program as they are in Tuscaloosa or Columbus or Athens or Columbia or Clemson. I mean, they were fired up. We shut down the middle of Main Street, and we had a 3-hour infomercial for their program, and they loved it. And it was so flattering and humbling, again, to see the people who use your show to show the world what their program is all about and why it's a great place to be there on game day. And it's such a privilege to be able to do that every week. And I send my best wishes to the entire game day crew. I guess Mr. Pollock was here last year and you had to listen to his ramblings. One too many shots to the head at Georgia, the Bengals, but he's come along and been a great addition to our team. But everybody says hello, and everyone knows about the Charlotte Touchdown Club. This group has a great reputation nationally, and I salute John for doing this for 20 years, he told me. 20 freaking years. Congratulations. Of this gig. I would imagine the stress, the headaches, all the things you deal with. It's about like running any big organization. It's hard to do it for 20 years, but I think the work has paid off. And the list of speakers has been through here. They're big shoes to fill. They've gone and they spread the word about what a great mission this club carries out every year. Stepping in recent years, I'm told, to help save sports at the junior high level. That's just a phenomenal mission to be a part of it. And the scholarships and supporting high school sports. So I salute you and thank you very much for supporting the Touchdown Club, because as I said, it has a national reputation and does great work.